Jack Johnson, Highland Athletic Director Brandon Larson, Marquis Cooper's dad, Bruce Cooper, also Channel 12 sports guy for years here in the Valley. So, Brandon, I'll start with you because you played with Marquis on this field. What's the best memory that you have from those years?
It was awesome playing with Marquis. I played the same position. Me and him rotated. He started on defense, and so on offense we switched out series. And some of my favorite memories are just actually the sideline. Some of the conversation that I got to have with him. He was a funny kid, always smiling, always having a good time. So just kind of joke around on the sidelines. You know, we were pretty good that year, so we got up on people early and often. So kind of that interactions and poking at each other. So those are some of my favorite memories of Marquis.
Yeah. Well, Bruce, kind of watching it from the parents' role. What did you think of Brandon, the player?
Hey, look, let me tell you something. It was a nervous time for me every Friday night. I mean, Brandon, he typifies what Highland football is even today. Blue collar, hardworking, 100% max effort. So that's what you got out of Brandon Larson. You know, every game. And so, to no one's surprise, Highland had a very good football team. They were coached by Mike Reardon. Matter of fact, they were Fiesta Bowl region champions their senior year, beating Terrell Suggs, yes, of the NFL Baltimore Ravens and the Cardinals for a year. They beat them in Chandler at Hamilton to win the region title, and they were their opening round playoff opponent, but we don't want to talk about that.
So, Brandon, the special part of Marquis Cooper night, what does it kind of mean to you to kind of bring all of those kind of feelings, emotions, and honor Marquis, your teammate, your friend on this field every year?
It's huge. So before I became an athletic director, I was part of planning for the first Marquis Cooper night, and there was a bunch of people involved: Alicia Holman, Liz Dahl, Tanya Burdick, and it was really awesome because we all wanted to honor him. And there are some things that happened when he first passed that we tried to come in and do some things with the school, and they just weren't amenable to at the time. So when Coach Farrell came in and basically says, hey, we're doing this and we're celebrating him, it was awesome for us as a team, as a community, to be able to do something that we wanted to do for a long time. So that first Cooper night, like, I still remember the feeling, the atmosphere. We had those white Cooper shirts, and I remember it was corner of the track to corner of the track, the entire stands. I mean, there had to be about 6,000 or 7,000 people here. Relationships, people I hadn't seen in 20 years that, you know, were able to come back and have those relationships, and everybody reminiscing about one person. So that just kind of speaks to what a great human being Marquis was, what a great teammate, what a great friend. So to be able to continue to do that year in, year out, this being our 5th year anniversary of the Cooper night, I'm glad that that stuck around and we're able to kind of honor the Cooper family and just his legacy and what he left on Highland.
Yeah, absolutely. And Bruce, I know one of your favorite parts of that night is the scholarship that's given out at halftime. What does that kind of mean to you to have a scholarship in Marquis' name?
Hey, look, that means the world. I mean, my wife is just so touched beyond belief. It's not even funny. I mean, she looks forward to this event every single year, and she's on the phone. She's saying, "All right, this is the night it is. You're coming." All right, now she wants a boatload of tickets. You know, I mean, but that's just who she is. But look, I may be getting ahead of myself here, but I still remember when my wife shared with me Brandon's loss of his son, and it was like, OMG. You know, we can certainly relate, and our hearts go out to the Larson family, and it did at that time, and it still does. And I'm just so peacock proud that we can actually share in this big moment together, because there's just nothing like the fellowship and the camaraderie of the student body here at Highland High School. I mean, they don't forget. Once you become a member of this Highland Hawk family, you stay that way for life. And so it just means a lot to me that we can share this night, this moment, this special event with Brandon Larson and his family.
Absolutely. And Brandon, this is kind of one of the first years of the Fallen Angels program in memory of your son. And just the combination between you and Bruce, both kind of dealing with tragedies over the years. You both knew each other beforehand. So how did that relationship kind of get you both through those tough times?
So one of the things I remember is when that happened, one of the first people to reach out was actually Donna. So for me, it was huge, knowing that she'd been through that, she'd experienced that with Marquis, and she said some very kind words and some things that helped us kind of realize that, okay, this is going to be tough, but we're going to get through. And these are the things that we need to kind of work through. There's the things we need to look for. You know, there's a lot of positives that come out of this tragedy, and just to focus on those and not focus on the negatives. So for me, that was huge. Me and my wife say this all the time. It's not a club anybody wants to be a part of.
Sure. But
once you're in it, it's a fraternity and it's a family, because there's a pain there that not a lot of other people understand. And so you kind of lean on other families, and, you know, when things are a struggle or you have questions, it's nice to be able to have those people that have been through it to reach out and to kind of lean on them to make your way through.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, it's certainly a club no one wants to be in, and no parent wants to be in this situation. But I remember for me and my wife and my daughter, I mean, it was such a public and national story that it was nothing that we could escape. I mean, you wake up to the news. It's everywhere on the TV. It's written in articles on radio. So it just was that constant reminder, something that, you know, helped kind of fuel the pain, if you will. And so, yeah, I just thank God that we were able to get through that initial period, because the initial shock is just something that, the initial shock and pain is something that, like Brandon said, it's indescribable, but it is so hard and it's so real, and you try to make sense of it. So, yeah, anytime I see of a family losing a young child, it certainly resonates with me, and my heart just pulls out.
Obviously, one of the things about Highland you guys talk about in Gilbert is community. And how has the community over the past couple of years kind of fostered the healing, kind of fostered the sense that, you know, people are there with you and understanding and trying their best to help. I mean, this really is kind of a family environment here at Highland.
Yeah, to see the way the Highland family and the community reached out to our family, and just to trying to remember Marquis in so many ways. I mean, our home is adorned with so many memorabilia that come from Highland. The Highland community put these things together for us, and it means the world to us. I mean, like I said, you can't walk in our house and not see it. So to have a community and a school body that can come together like that and show the love and the support, it means the world.
Yeah, and Brandon, obviously, you're one of the people who runs this, but when it's time for people to reach back out to you and support you, what was that feeling like to have everybody kind of bring their arms around you and your family?
It was amazing. That's the best way I can describe it. So when Bodie passed, obviously it was a shock to us and a shock to our community, but the amount of support that we had, emotional, financial, I mean, the community rallied. That's one of the things that actually inspired me to start this, the Fallen Angel Project with my wife. Was you don't realize what a financial responsibility it is to have to bury somebody and to have to lose somebody. And so our community rallied so much that we didn't have to worry about one bit. We were able to put our son at rest and not have to worry financially. And that was huge for us because we could just worry about honoring our son. So for me, when we talk about like the Fallen Angel Project and why we're doing this, that's one of the big reasons we are doing this, is because I want to be able to reciprocate that love that we got from our community. But really, as I tell people all the time, it's like being in a small town in the middle of a big city.
Right.
And what Bruce said is absolutely true. Once you're a hawk for life. And when people have needs and things happen, like our community really rallies. And not to say that other communities don't, but I think there's something special about here that is just you can't find in a lot of places. So for us, it was huge to be a part of that, and we're super grateful. We tell everybody all the time, you know, our lives took some weird paths. We never thought we'd leave Texas. I thought I was going to be a head football coach and coach there forever. And, you know, things led us down the path that led us here, and now we know why. We knew that we were supposed to be a part of this community, and God led us here so that when this did happen, we had that support system in place to make this a lot easier on our family.
Yeah, absolutely. And the relationship between you two goes back even before high school, because you and Marquis used to play Pop Warner together. What was kind of, Bruce, what was your first memory of a young Brandon Larson?
Well, you know, it was my wife. You know, she would have to go pick up. She would tell me that, hey, look, I guess she became friends with Brandon's mother. And so she would arrange between those two to go pick up Brandon for football practice. And I didn't know anything about Brandon at the time. Just another young pup in the woods trying to play football. But I mean, obviously there was a huge connection, a bond that just grew all the way up until they played high school here together at Highland. So yeah, I mean, I have major love for Brandon. He's a special guy in our life, and will always be.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're here at about the 30-yard line at the Highland Hawks field. And the performance of the team this year, Brandon, now since you're kind of leading things, I mean, how satisfied have you been with putting a competitive team on the field year after year? And really, not just when the community comes together on a night like this, you also put together not just a competitive team, a winning team, and a very solid team.
So I can't take credit for that as much as I'd love to. Coach Farrell, when he stepped foot on this campus, instantaneously changed this culture. He did a great job of getting the community involved, getting the community back. Like if you come to our games now, it feels like it was 25 years ago with 5,000 people screaming in the stands. He's done a great job of instilling character in these young men and getting them to realize it's not necessarily about wins or losses. It's about the effort you put in, the attitude you put in, and the winning's kind of a byproduct of that. And they've bought in, and they've bought in at all levels. And what you've seen now is you've seen a program that believes that they can compete with the best in the state. So, we're going to go out there, we're going to try and, beat the Chandlers and Hamiltons in the world and see where we land. But these kids, they have a lot of confidence coming in. It's fun to watch. It's fun to see Highland back on top again and competing for playoffs and state titles. So for me, I couldn't be more proud of the way he runs his team and the way our boys just kind of act on campus and in our community.
Bruce, from your perspective, watching Brandon as the athletic director here, what have you seen? What did
look, I am just so proud of this program because, look, I went to Westwood High School in Mesa, and during my time there, they were like one of the better athletic programs in the state. They're not even close to that now. And so to watch and support my son and Brandon when they were coming up here through Highland, they had some great times. Then there was a little dip. And now Brock Farrell has brought it back up here to where, look, I'm telling you, when I was a player, I mean, I love to talk trash. So I'm an ASU grad, so I'll talk trash when they win and do well and stuff like that.
Sir.
Hey, I'm able to talk trash for my son about the Highland Hawks, thanks to what Brock Farrell and Brandon are bringing here to this Highland Hawk program. I mean, it's a tremendous sense of pride because when you're winning, that just galvanizes the whole student body and the community, and you'll see the support on playoff nights, on championship nights, and things like that. And that's what we have here back in this community.
It's a really special night coming up on Friday. Gentlemen, thank you so much for taking this walk with me.
Thank you.
Thank you.